It's Monday again, and we all know what that means. It's make some plans time! Hi there, I'm Christine, the Gemini Stitcher, and as always, welcome to my sewing shack. This is my Monday Make Some Plans video or vlog, where I go through what I made last week and what I get up to last week, if anything other than sewing, and what I'm planning to make this week. So before we get into that, there are a few little things that I'd like to do at the beginning. The first one being my small channel shout out. This is something that Sam Sequin Girly Creates and myself have been doing on all our weekly vlogs, and it is starting to take off. We are both small sewing channels, but we want to embrace all the small sewing channels on YouTube, and our little way of doing that is by giving a channel a shout out every week and using the hashtag small sewing channel, in the hope that you guys get to see more variety in your sewing channel viewing by searching on the hashtag small sewing channel, and then it will start to bring up all the small sewing channels that are using the hashtag. So if you are a small sewing channel, by that I mean probably below about 2,000 subscribers, feel free to use the hashtag small sewing channel, and hopefully you will get more views from people who don't normally get to see your channel. That's the idea of it anyway. So who am I shouting out this week? It's to a lovely lady called Catherine, and her channel is called So Much Sewing. Give her a watch and subscribe to her channel to give her a little bit of support. She's got over the 1,000 subscribers, but if she's anything like me, once you get past that 1,000 mark, it all starts to slow down again. So go and have a look on Catherine's YouTube channel. It's called So Much Sewing. I'm sure you'll enjoy listening to Catherine. It's great to get variety in our viewing. So pop on over to her channel and show her some support. So that's the small channel shout out for today. The next thing I want to do, I've been thinking, I do an awful lot of garment sewing. And as somebody, well, I had two comments that made me think last week from my vlogs. One was a comment on how much sewing I do and that I'm a machine. I can assure you I am not a machine. I am not a robot. Ow, I'm a human being. It hurts when I pinch myself. But yes, I do an awful lot of sewing. I am guilty of it. It's my guilty pleasure and I cannot stop. But somebody else also commented on the fact that they wondered where on earth I fitted all these garments in my wardrobe, and that is a very good comment. Excellent comment. Because I'm very lucky. I have a dressing room with 3 large wardrobe units in, but they are bursting at the seams now. When I started my sewing journey, probably about 3 years ago now, I had a virtually completely me-made shop bought off the peg wardrobe, and I consciously decided that I was going to change it so that I got to a point where it wasn't completely me-made, but it was about 80% there, and I think I'm there now. So one of the vlogs that I'm looking to do over the next few weeks is a look in my wardrobes. And we're going to pull everything out, separate them into me made, shop bought, and have a look where we're at. So that's going to be interesting. But as a knock-on effect of that and all the comments and me consciously thinking about how many garments I was sewing, I've made the decision. Don't panic, I'm not stopping sewing. But the decision I've made is that I'm going to incorporate more craft and home things into my makes and plans and less garments. So going forward, I have decided that every week there will be one garment and one craft item. And if I do any more than that, then it's a bonus. To try and get me to do more conscious sewing and less like a machine. So what did I make last week? Well, did I finish everything on my list? Yes, I did. Just. This got finished this morning, that's why I've still got it on. It is the Newlook 6650 dress with the lovely sash around the middle so that it hides the mum tum a little bit. I love this dress. This is the second one I've made, and I have got a third one planned in my head as a mashup with the bottom half of this dress and the sash, and the top half to be the A-Dream blouse from Friday Pattern Company. So I'm probably going to work on that one next week. So that is my garment plan for next week. Oh, I've told you already. Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail when we've discussed what I made. So I've made that. Really comfortable. Made it in the fabric I got from Ammo Threads, which is a John Calder fabric, and paid about £4 a metre for it. I'll put the name of the store below. Not sure if they've got any left, but if they have, grab it. It is absolutely beautiful fabric. A bit of a pig to sew with, I've got to be honest, if you're not used to jersey fabrics, because it is very floaty. But the results speak for themselves. Absolutely stunning fabric, and absolutely love it. So what else did I have on my plans? You'll remember I was ambitious last week, which is why I was to the wire with this. But I did make the Pilar jacket. Shall we have a look at it? I am so chuffed with it. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen images of this. But there's my Instagram details. If you don't, then give me a follow, because you get to see the garments on there before I do my Monday makes normally, because I take the pics first. I'm usually so excited when I finish something and I can't wait to share it. Don't know whether you feel the same. Right, so what did I make? Oh yes, Pilar jacket. Are you ready? If you've not seen this, prepare to be amazed. It is the most stunning jacket. I know we shouldn't brag about our own makes, but oh my goodness. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. In fact, I'll put it on and then you can see what a great fit it is. Just bear with me a second. Look. Now, let's talk about a few details of the Pilar. It's a maison fauve pattern, and this has been made up in the size 40. I have used press studs instead of the normal denim buttons that it tells you to use, because I just used what I had in my stash. Try and get up close and you can see. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see it has these radiating darts on the front, cute top pockets, And these are quite small, these pockets, but I think they're just meant like hipster pockets. But like you can see, there's a panel there that runs all the way down and includes the pocket, which is amazing detail. So I could drool over this jacket all day. But I also made a pair of the Frankie trousers to go with it. Talk about you're going to spot me. When I showed my husband these trousers yesterday, he went, oh, they're a bit 70s. How rude is that? And I went, I don't care, they're me. And this is me. If it means I'm stuck in the 70s, then so be it. And the other thing I've threatened to do, and I will do, we go away on the 22nd of September. And I've said, well, this is my going away outfit. I'm going to wear this through the airport. And his face dropped, went, you're not going to lose me, are you? So, watch this space. So these are the Frankie trousers. Now, they have turned out okay in the end. I don't know what went wrong. I made them in the size according to my measurements on the pattern. And before, luckily, but I always do this top tip, before you put your waistband, well, the sides and the inside seams, before I commit to sewing them, I always do them on a tacking stitch. And then I try, particularly when it's trouser pattern I've never made before, because I hate making toiles. So this is how I do it. Use tacking stitch on the inside seams and the outside. Try them on. And when I tried them on, they were huge. Well, not huge, about 2 sizes too big. Everywhere. But that's okay. So I had to take them in on the back, centre back seam, and take them in either side. I left the inside seam as it was because they are quite a parallel leg, so I didn't want to end up with them not looking like parallels, if you know what I mean, and tapering in. So I took them in on the outside seams and then a good inch each seam, and on the centre back seam as well. And they fit okay. Not as good as they would have done. I don't know if you can hear the dog barking, she's seen something. Sorry if you can. I'm going to carry on anyway. So, they do fit, but not as well as they would have done if I'd have done them the size that I should. So, if I make them again, I will go down by 2 sizes. But they're okay. Here's an image of me wearing my Frankies and my Pilar jacket. Well, a few images will be rolling because I am super proud of this outfit. So, that was all that I had on my makes and plans for this week. So pat on the back to me. Even though I had this jacket to make, which, you know, could have tipped me over the edge on its own. But what I did was I paid, I think, about £6.95 for the Beyond the Pink Door sew along with Andrea. And it was a lifesaver. She had some brilliant hints and tips on there, particularly when you're doing the darts at the top, because that's one area that has got to be spot on. Otherwise, I mean, it's not so bad on this busy fabric, which is why I chose this to do the first one. But next time I'm going to be doing it in a plain. I'll just see if I can grab it. You can see it up there. There we go. This is the fabric that I'm going to make it in next. And I'm hoping I've got enough of the fabric to make a pair of trousers to go with it. Now, I don't think I'll make the Frankies. I'm thinking of doing the Philippa trousers by Anna Allen. There's an image of them. I've made these a couple of times before, so they should be a relatively easy make for me. So I'm going to make the Pilar with the Philippa trousers. Now, they were on Make Some Plans for August, but as I said at the beginning of the video, I am just doing one garment per week. So this second jacket and the trousers may slip into September. We will see. So, I also made a little treat for myself this week. Are you ready? Oops. How gorgeous is that? It actually looks fab on camera. I was hoping it would look really bright and pop, and it does. Now, you'll know that I purchased a sewing journal for myself to put all my makes in here for future reference, so that when I come to make them again, or when I come to chat on a vlog about them, I can read up a little bit about them before I start. In theory, if I write in them. I have put the Pilar Jacket in. So let's see if I've forgot anything. I've put, yep, Fellow Beyond the Pink Door Sew Along, yep, and it was £6.95. Use the press studs from Prim, yep. Oh, that's what I've not told you about. See, I need to look in this book. And that is, I did a contrasting yoke. I'll have to take it off to show you inside. On the pattern, you just get a facing for the back neck that just follows round like that, but round the back. But I mean, Andrea on her video suggested that you did a internal yoke pop of colour, and it matches my journal, doesn't it? I just realised I've used the same scrap of fabric, and I've also put Made with Love and swear words label in, partly because it's one that I can use as a coat hanger, because what I would also do next time is put a loop in, a hanging loop, because this is the type of jacket that's just going to be worn and hung up somewhere, but I can use that. That'll do for this one. So let's have a look. In my snazzy journal, what else did I do? What else did I say about the Pilar Jacket? Oh yeah, about cutting out the darts to mark in the front, and that's in Andrea's. And then I've said overlock all pieces before starting, because I'm not very good at keep switching between overlocker, sewing machine, overlocker, sewing machine. So there was a bit of overlocking and little intricate bits that needed overlocking on the jacket. So I thought next time, just for me personally, I will just overlock everything before I start, and then I can put the overlocker out of the way and have the room then on my worktop to spread out all the pieces, and I can see what I'm doing. That's just personal thing. Oh, and then I said use medium interfacing on lighter fabrics for the collar, waistband, cuffs and along the front band, which is what I did with this, because it isn't like a heavy drill. It's a cotton sateen, bit canvassy but not very heavy. So the instructions for the Pilar don't tell you to use any interfacing, because they assume that you're using quite a heavyweight fabric. So I put that for reference for me. If I do it in a lightweight again, put interfacing on those areas. So we were talking about this, weren't we? And it's a journal cover. The reason I made it is because try and pull this out. There we go. Can you see how it's curling? It was driving me nuts. And we kept doing this to try and flatten it out, and it did. And then the next time I used it, because I'm folding it over like that, it's just flipping up. So I made this for it to slip into. And I even, let me have a look if I can get close enough. There we go. Did decorative stitching of little bees all down the insides. Because when I did what my machine does, one of the comments I made about myself was that I didn't use all the stitches that it does. So that's one of the decorative stitches that I found. It does little busy bees. So I think I'm going to be using that a lot now. Now, this journal cover is not my design at all. It is by a lady called Andra Makes, and I will pop the link to the sew along in the show notes because it is brilliant, very detailed, very, very good. What I will also put in the details is the sizing that I used for this one because I had to do a bit of maths, which is a bit alien to me these days, but I managed it because my sewing journal was a slightly smaller size than the notepads that she gave the dimensions for to make this cover. But it works. So if you're just doing the notepads that she's recommending, you can get them on Amazon. Probably get them at the range. They are a standard size notepad. You can just follow her instructions. If you are using one of these sewing project logs from Amazon, then and you want to make a nice cover for it like mine, the dimensions that I've used are below, but use Andra's sew along. Brilliant. Love it. So that's part of why, that's the other thing I'm changing about my weekly makes and plans. I've said every week I'm going to do a craft item. And every week I'm going to recommend the craft item. I'm going to put the link to the sew along or information of where I found it. And if there is a sew along, I'm also going to set up a playlist called Scrap Projects and Gifts. I just thought of that then. So it's going to be called Scrap Projects and Gifts. And I will be putting all the sew alongs that I find in there as well so that you'll be able to find them. So if it comes to say November and you're trying to get some inspo of what homemade gifts to make for everybody for Christmas, and this is me as well because I'll be doing the same. I'll be going looking in my scrap gifts playlist. They're not my sew alongs. There may be the odd one that I do myself, but the majority of them will be ones that are already on YouTube, but you don't have to find them because they're all in that playlist. So that's something else I'm going to be doing. But yeah, love it, love it. Okay. So that's what I made this week. I just had to stop there because my lovely son popped his head out the door. You'll have seen him in the background in his gym jams. Not a good look. Anyway, I kicked him back inside now. It didn't really want anything. He was just being nosy, wondering where I was. Where am I always? In my sewing shack, honey. Right. Where are we up to? Done all last week's. Told you about projects. What am I planning this week? So my garment this week, I've changed my mind. It isn't going to be the mashup of this because that's going to mash my brain at the moment. And I've still got stuff cut out that I need to work through first. So we're going to do, or I'm going to do, another one. Like I've not got enough dresses of the Joe dress. Now that was a meaty sew, so there's definitely only going to be one garment this week. And you might have seen that this is the fabric that I'm going to make it in. There's an image of the Joe dress, and there's some images of the one that I made previously. It is from Closet Core Patterns. It's their new dress pattern. There has been a bit of hoo-ha about it being a direct copy of a high-end designer dress. I did have a look, and I'm not going to mention the design because I don't want to fuel the fire, but somebody did comment on one of my videos where I featured it and said, you need to look at it because it is a direct replica. So I did. I caved anyway and had a look. Yeah, I get it. It is. I get it. But Closet Core Patterns have still had to make their own pattern and pattern block for it. The designer didn't have their designs nicked, and they didn't have their pattern blocks and the pattern stolen. That's my view, anyway. And I love the dress, so I don't care. I cannot afford to pay. I think the cheapest I found that dress was just short of £1,000 for a dress. And I know they go for a lot more money than that. So that's my view. I can't afford it. So this is my way of having a designer dress. And why not? Right, draw a line. So I'm doing the Joe dress in that Ankara fabric. I have done a full review of the Joe dress in great detail. So I will bob the link for that below. And if you want to have a look, then go and have a watch. It is quite interesting. And I think I might watch it myself before I start. It might remind me of the things that I need to remember to do, because it is a few weeks since I made it. And you know what happens? I forget. Now, some of you may already know, but if you don't, I'm on a fabric ban, which means I don't buy any fabrics until I go to the Knitting and Stitch show in Harrogate in November, which seems like forever off. I'm on week 2. And hand on heart, I have not bought myself any fabrics. However, I do run a social sewing event. If you don't know about it, where have you been? There are a couple of groups that you can join. One's on Facebook and one is on Instagram, and I will pop the details below because that's where I put the dates of the next events. It's in Clayton Le Moors, just off the M65 in Lancashire. And if you live anywhere near there, bob in those groups and join, and then you won't miss out on the next event. The next one is on the 6th of September and it is booked up already. I know. So much so that we are releasing the next day. I haven't put it in the group chat, but I'm going to tell you guys first that it is going to be the 5th of October. So, if you want to attend, get yourself booked on. Email events@themillhousevenue.com and they will send you details of the next event on the 5th of October. So I have not bought anything, but as part of the event, there is a raffle. Everybody gets a raffle ticket or a sheet of raffle ticket numbers, and it's drawn at random and someone wins the prize. We've set a precedent, really. Last time was our first one, and I made a tote bag and put fabric inside, which was great. So I have had to buy some more tote bag panels. So I'll just show you those because they are gorgeous. They are from Flamingo Fabrics. I'll put the link below in the details in case you want to go and buy some yourself. So the first one is this one with the dressmaker's dummy on. So I basically used this. I'll show you an image of the one actually that I made. So I've used this panel as the front panel and then used some cotton canvas fabrics that I've got in my stash for the rest of it. So we've got that one. Then I like the last one so much. Oop, I've got another one with the sewing machine on. And then, this is my favourite. How bright and colourful is that with all the coloured threads on? So there we go. So, one or all of those, I'll see how I get on, are my craft project this week to make at least one of those tote bags up ready for the 6th of September. And then I've just got to get the goodies to go inside. So that's my craft project. So I'm going to make the Joe dress. I'm going to make the tote bag for the 6th of September. And that's all I'm committing myself to this week. Slower sewing is the way forward. Nearly done. I've just got a couple of things to chat about, and then I'll leave you in peace. The first thing is to remind you about the Busy Bee Sewing Challenge. I know it feels like it's been going on forever. Try being us who are doing all the sewing. We're halfway. The reveal of our transformation challenge is on the Wednesday, the 30th of August. So keep your eyes peeled. We will all be revealing our makes on Wednesday, the 30th. I think we're going to set it for 6 p.m. just because it's a weekday and nobody will watch otherwise. So there are 6 of us in the Busy Bees Sewing Challenge. It is sewing bee related, themed, but not an exact replica, which is why we're doing the transformation challenge, and I cannot wait to see what everybody's made. So stay tuned for that. And then the last thing I'm going to start doing every week is telling you about a gadget I found, or a sewing aid I found that is under £10. For 2 reasons. I'm addicted to anything that makes my sewing life easier, and I'm going to start sharing it with you. And also, if you are really organised, as well as the inspo of what to make for people, this is a good way of thinking of stocking fillers for people who sew as well, or ideas that you can give to other people to get you for little gifts. Like that one better. So what have I found this week? Some of you may already have this. If you haven't, give it a look. It's from Amazon. Well, other outlets will sell it, I'm sure. I'm not affiliated to them, even though I do keep mentioning it's just where I do a lot of my shopping these days. And it's this cute little pen. It's from, sorry, I'm looking at it without specs on. It's from Sewline. Let's take the top off. And that blue end is the glue. So it's a pen sewing glue stick. Now, it isn't like your normal Pritt stick. It doesn't guck up your sewing machine or your needle. So I've been using this. I used it when I made the journal. Can't find it, it's buried there somewhere. Where you have to attach the little bits of elastic on. I just used this and glued it on before I sewed it, and then it didn't move around. Brilliant, and it works. I'm also going to use it when I'm putting zips in. Instead of tacking them in, use this. So it was, I'm trying to think, £6 something, I think, for the pen and a refill. And that's going to last me a good while, I think. So that's my little gadget. I'll pop the link in the show notes for Amazon so that you can find it easily. If you're like me and you're lazy and you can't be bothered searching the internet for a cheaper price. If you find it cheaper anywhere else, let me know, because I'm sure I will need a replacement at some point. So that's my top tip for a under tenner sewing gadget this week. The Sew Line, I nearly said Slimline. The Sew Line glue pen. I love it. So that's all my sewing chat for this week. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me gabble on about my sewing makes and plans. And I hope it's inspired you to make some plans as well, because that's how we get things done. People say, how on earth do you sew so much? Because I plan it and then I break it down into little chunks. It's just the way I work. But as I said, going forward, it is going to slow down. One garment, one craft make, and a sewing gadget every week from now on until we get to December. Anyone think I didn't like Christmas? I absolutely love the build up to Christmas. And then it's always a bit of a when that one day has gone, but is in our house anyway. It's just like back to normal. Why did we bother? But we do, don't we? So I'm sorry if people don't like talking about it just yet, but being a sewer, I have to be organised and I have to start thinking. I always try and make something for everybody. Only a small gift, because I would hate to spend a lot of money and time on something and then they didn't like it. So I make everybody a small homemade gift to pop in with their main present. So I hope that my gift ideas that I'm going to go through every week will inspire you as well. I know 2 or 3 people who would love one of those notebook journal covers. So, without naming any names, some people are going to get those as their little gift this Christmas. Right, I'm going now. Take care. Happy sewing. Like and subscribe. I've not mentioned that in this video, and I need to keep doing because I need more subscribers. I need to keep going. And I will see you on, I'm changing up my days. That was the other thing that I've not told you. I've been doing Monday, Thursday and Saturday. Now, Saturdays aren't a good day for me, really. And I don't know why I chose it. So I'm going to rejig it and just do Monday, Wednesday, Friday from now on. So the next video that's going up will be on Wednesday. And it's going to be, looking outside, it is so cold and grey here that I think we're in autumn already. So Wednesday's video is going to be 5 free autumn layering garments. We all love a free pattern, don't we? And I'm trying to use more of them as well. So I'm going to go through my top 5 free autumn layering garments that I've found that I'm going to be using this autumn. And if I've already got the fabrics to match up with them, I'll be telling you which ones I'm going to use as well. So I will see you on Wednesday, and happy sewing. Bye for now.